Hi everyone, it's me again, Chrissi. I'm here to do a book review of The Tree Hugger. This book was written by F.M. Barrera. A while back, I did a book review of this book, and it was also written by F.M. Barrera. This book won an honorable mention at the Purple Dragonfly Book Award. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's begin. What do I like about this book? Look at the cover. I like the frame because it gives you that classic touch. It's just like our traditional fairy tale books. It reminds me of Cinderella, Snow White, and it's gold. And I also like the title font. I don't know what the title font is, but this is familiar to me, and it doesn't look too old-fashioned, so it looks contemporary, and I like the frame too. Okay, let's begin. Let me read the first paragraph and the second one so you can have an idea of what the setting is, because this book is a combination of a make-believe world. It's a fairy tale, and it has fairies in it, but at the same time the setting is very current. Oh, by the way, he also has frames on every page, gold frame, and I like this box here. This is the very first letter, and it gives you that classic touch too, because when you read those old fairy tales, it begins with something like this. Okay, let me read it. It was a week before Christmas in a small foothill down in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The town was alive with activity as people shopped and put up decorations despite a foot of snow having fallen overnight. Many residents trotted out to the foothills to cut down their own Christmas trees from the plentiful wild pines growing nearby. So the setting is already introduced here. It's in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's during Christmas or close to Christmas, because people are buying Christmas trees. So this might be in November or December. And it's snowing. But in a secluded part of the forest, hidden from view by massive boulders and slate gray cliffs, there stood a special grove of dwarf pines that grew only to the height of 9 feet. In one of the pine trees lived two fairy brothers, Willie and Nilly. They lived in a hollow of a trunk accessible through a hole that they closed with a tiny door during the winter. In the springtime, they ate flower petals and herbs from the forest floor. During the winter, they dined on seeds and nuts, which they collected during the warmer summer months. So, first part is the current setting, and then here he introduces the fairy tale part, or the make-believe part. This is where his imagination comes in, and he introduces the two fairy brothers. And then the second page, it slowly tells you what the problem is. Not really directly, but it gives you an idea what it is, because it already tells you suddenly there was a loud crack. The entire tree shook from its base up to the highest branches. Madge squawked and was launched off her perch into the gray sky. Earthquake! It's an earthquake! Sorry, boys, but I must go now. I'm off to the south of the border. Vayan con Dios, mis amigos. Madge disappeared into the treetops. So these are the two birds, and something happened. There's an earthquake. So is there really an earthquake, or something else is causing it? It's not an earthquake. It's a man. Nilly was on the verge of panic. So the second page, there's already action going on. First, it's just like it's showing you the setting, and it's introducing to you the characters. But what I like is that it already starts the story quickly. It tells you what's going on, and something is wrong in the world of the two fairies, and it tells you there's an earthquake caused by man. And then it's already the third page where it was shipped somewhere else. And that's when the problem arises, and it slowly builds up, and it introduces another character. This part, when it shows the kid, and she's 9 years old, and she's helping the father decorate the tree. You know, it made me sentimental. It made me think about my childhood, because I used to love decorating the tree, and I look forward to it. And I know those kids that love Christmas, they will enjoy this book. So what she did, she helped decorate. Can we decorate it now? So it sounded like me, you know, I can identify with it. So I know any kid can identify with it, especially if they love decorating the tree. The expensive glass ornaments were next. Jody reached for a pretty pink one and hung it on an empty branch. Just as she reached for another one, the first one fell and tumbled onto the carpet. Jody picked it up and rehung it on the same branch. The ornament would not stay and fell again. It rolled farther out, this time across the carpet, where it lodged underneath the sofa. And of course, while doing that, something shows up. These two. And she discovered that there are two fairies. And she finds out their problem. She shows them the dollhouse. Okay, you can stay in my dollhouse temporarily. I got it for my birthday. There should be plenty of room in there for the two of you. Any girl reading this book can identify too, because I'm sure she has a dollhouse, because I remember having a dollhouse too. And then the story goes on. And what I like about the drawing is that I know the author is also the illustrator. It also looks like it comes from an old fairy tale. And then you will meet the princess, and she will say how the problem is going to be solved, because the two fairies want to have their own tree back, and at the same time, of course, Jody wants to go back. This is a good story that teaches preservation, about respect for nature, and that we should be responsible in conserving the trees in the forest. So here there are consequences, and I like that the fairy princess adapted to the modern times, because she said these are modern times and we must update our methods. Perhaps there's a better way to conserve our tree homes, more in keeping with the trends of human society. We must teach this father a lesson. So she sends a letter, and I like the letter. You see, it's like a scroll, and the font is an old-fashioned font. Yours truly, Princess Tilly. And then, of course, the dad will find ways to rescue her daughter, and in the end, it will be a happy ending. Now, the thing about this book is that when you buy it, you will be reading not only the tree hugger, because there's also a bonus. There's another story here, and it's the quest of the Falusa. And it's another fairy story. And it's about a tribe of little people called the Falusa people. They were ground-dwelling fairies whose religion placed nature above all else. And it's another exciting fairy story, which starts with this. The first letter is written in like a fairy tale letter. And of course, it still has the frame, and it's another exciting story. And there's a spider. Look, the illustrations are really so good, so colorful, and it always has, you know, what I notice about Frankie's books is that it's contemporary, but it has a classical touch. So it's a book that will survive the test of time. That's what I think. So get your books. I know this is available on Amazon. It's also, I think it's also available on Ingram Sparks. If it's hardcover, it's an Ingram Sparks, and you can get your copies on Amazon. I'm going to provide the link below, and please buy your book. Till next time.